Hey everyone, it's week 2 of 100 days of sketching for me, and this week did not go to plan at all. Despite getting to draw throughout the week, it was a tough one. It was a tough one. And overall, I felt these emotions of feeling a bit anxious, feeling lazy, and just feeling uninspired. So if you've been feeling a little bit uninspired lately, or going through some stuff, finding the motivation to create, I want to share with you 3 lessons that I had to create art, to create anything in our toughest days. And I guess a bit of background to all of this. It's I recently finished a marathon, and been about 2 weeks ago. So had to recover from that whole process and training. But during that training period, I had a very specific diet. I had a very specific exercise plan, and I had a very specific kind of routine going through it. And fast forward through these weeks, I kind of have hardly exercised my body because I've had to rest more, and as a result, I've kind of been eating more as well, and led me to kind of scrolling on my phone a bit more too. And the end of all of that is just my energy, my motivation went down as well, and kind of losing that routine, losing those habits. Kind of, I lost a bit of my identity in it all, as well. And when you kind of lose a bit of identity, you lose your purpose. And I know it does sound a little bit dramatic, but I'm sure those times kind of happen to all of us, and we shouldn't not talk about it. It's something that we're going through. So how does this all kind of circle back around and relate to art? Um, I think there's always these times in our lives where we lack the passion, or we lack the motivation, or just have not enough energy to push through. And if we have too many days like this that keep reoccurring, we kind of risk not doing the things that we want to do, the things that the world kind of need us to share. I really do believe like each one of us has their own unique creations, and it's not about like just creating art and sharing that, but it's about kind of sharing our voices and sharing our stories with the world. I think that helps us to create the world that we want to live in. And I hope you kind of feel that, or kind of agree with that too. So, been talking a bit of the background. Let's get into 3 reasons, 3 lessons to create on your toughest days. And this first one is about work. It's work, work, and then rest. Oops. Rest. Work, work, rest. And rest shouldn't be an excuse to kind of let yourself go, or start binging, be lazy, be a sloth, be a glutton of sorts. It's a real time for you to slow down, regenerate, and recover. It's not a time to, fall off the bandwagon, go backwards in all of your progress and be a complete degenerate. I think rest is kind of just equally as important as the work, for us to sustainably build ourselves, to grow ourselves as well. In the training that I had to do for a marathon, not to make it all about me, but in the plan that was there, I had to kind of keep increasing my running mileage every week. So week 1, I would increase the different Ks that I was running, or the miles. Then week 2 was increasing the intensity and the mileage. But then on week 3, there was always a point in a bit of a cycle to recover, to rest, to bring it back down. You've functionally overreached. You've kind of stretched yourself. Now it's the time to rest for a bit, and then get the gains of resting, and then go again in that cycle. So we can't always see growth as this kind of linear path. We need to really plan for work and rest, in the process, so we can keep growing and kind of creating more sustainably. So that was kind of my first lesson there. Um, work, work, rest. The next one is simplify, simplify, simplify. Oops, simply. Okay, simplify. Okay, that's what we're dealing with. Simplify. It's so simple now. It's a scribble. So simplify, simplify, simplify. Uh, I thought kind of using my phone to create was going to reduce all the barriers to draw and make it easier for me. And yes, it is to a point, but I think it was getting to the point where I just didn't have even the slightest bit of kind of energy to kind of look at my phone to draw. It actually became a barrier because this was kind of the place where I did all my drawings. I set this level of expectation for me to draw at a specific standard to post. I think we all kind of have that. But even those kind of the slight complexity and the slight distraction of having a device on you kind of built up, and it just killed my creativity on those uninspiring days. I think luckily, drawing doesn't take too much to do. All you need is like a pen and a piece of paper, and I think that's where I started with that. I had enough of kind of sitting around and overthinking like these feelings. So kind of took the closest pen and pieces of paper, like just some sticky notes. Ended up walking out the door, clearing my head, sat down at a park, and then just drew whatever came out. No judgment. And I knew that I just had to get started with the process, no matter what it looked like. So that's why like some of these are like post-it notes. And although I was kind of thinking that I'd commit to drawing on the phone, things change, things change. So simplifying, simplifying, simplifying. This doesn't mean kind of lowering the quality of what you're doing. It's a different approach. It's more about clearing out your head, your environment around you, and making room for what's really important for you to keep moving and keep creating as well. So I love that one. Simplify, simplify, simplify. And the last one is live, laugh, and love. Live, laugh, love. Honestly, this has nothing to do with anything. I just wanted to say it. No, but really, I watched called Inside Out 2 lately, and I kind of just lived, laughed, and loved all the way through it. And it was specifically because just how the emotions they kind of interacted with each other. They were kind of trying to like talk through things, talk through emotions with other emotions, and it was really really interesting. So I think not only in that movie setting, but we can kind of do that ourselves. We can talk to our emotions like characters, and we can talk to them like friends. We have a chance to kind of use our rational mind to help soothe them, to help problem solve. We all know that it's probably easier said than done when we're going through some stuff. But I think it's something to really be aware of. We have the opportunity to empathize with our emotions, kind of understand the pains of what they're going through, their motives, and once that becomes a little bit more clear, we can help them work through it or unpack it. Uh, I know like those specific times when we really attach ourselves to kind of emotions. It's really hard to think rationally when we're really sad, when we're angry, or we are hit by like a wave of anxiety. I think it's just keeping those reminders. Reminding ourselves that this is just one part of what makes us, and it's probably just the loudest emotion at the time. It feels like it's all consuming, but they're just the loudest emotion at the time. And knowing that they're loud because they're not getting what they might need. Also reminding a reminder to ourselves to be curious and be patient with, a character, an emotion that is going through something, is trying to say something, trying to voice something, but maybe it's not as clear um, as we think at the time. So being patient, being curious, to help get to the root of the problem, and then also just reminding ourselves to be kind, to treat them, really, really treat them as a friend that's in our inner world. And I think if we can do that, we can learn to live, laugh, and love a bit longer, with ourselves and in our lives. So that is my 3 lessons to create art on our toughest days. Hopefully, that was a little bit useful for you and maybe a little bit enjoyable than just looking at some of my art. Um, that's about it. I'll see you in the next week, week 3. See ya. Bye.